Hi everyone, I am so excited because I am speaking with author Anne Griffin all the way from Ireland, and we are talking about her debut novel. She has it, she's going to hold it up for us. Just came out, When All Is Said, and it came out March 5th. So it's been out almost 2 months, and I am so happy that I got to read this book. It was so good. And
Oh,
I'm going to read the little blurb that they put on Amazon because
okay.
I think this sums it up perfectly. When I was trying to think of a way to describe it, I went back and I was like, oh, this is it right here. If you had to pick 5 people to sum up your life, who would they be? If you were to raise a glass to each of them, what would you say? And what would you learn about yourself when all is said?
Yes, succinct and to the point.
Yeah, and you know what? After I got done reading, since I had already read it, and when I read that again, I was like, ah, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. That's what Morris Hanigan does. He's
Yeah.
he sits to the bar of his local hotel, and he decides that he is there to drink 5 toasts to the 5 most important people in his life. And through that, we learn just who Morris Hannigan is. And, his ups and his downs, his triumphs and his failures, and what exactly is going to happen after these 5 toasts and after these 5 hours. What's going to happen with Mars? You
And it's
know,
like already bringing tears to my eyes. I'm so sentimental about this because it's like as you're reading his story, of course you can't help but think about your own,
yeah,
and so
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I mean you're constant, like going through his life and you're thinking, and he's 84, I'm 54.
Mm, mm, yeah. Oh,
you know,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
and I feel like I have so much like what at 84, like
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. He has a wealth of history there, of relationships with people that I suppose on this night he's aiming to kind of put right if he can,
Hmm.
um, or at least to tell his side of the story. And it's really interesting because Mars, there's nobody actually with Mars, so he's speaking in his head to his son, who lives in the States, who lives in New Jersey, completely different man to Mars, and somebody that Mars has always had difficulty in getting along with. But he's here to say, look, son, this is really who I am. And, I haven't maybe been the best father, but there are reasons. And I just want to say, do you know what, son? I love you and I get you. And I am eternally proud of you. And he's never been able to say that. And how human is that? What are we? Well, I
Oh,
mean, we're all like that, aren't we? We cannot say these things to the people we love the most. And so these 5 toasts are to those 5 people saying, this is how much you meant to me. So we meet his brother who died of TB when tuberculosis when he was 16. We meet his daughter Molly, who he only got hold for 15 minutes. We meet his sister-in-law Noreen, who's a very interesting character and who actually unwittingly unlocks the secret behind this gold coin of King Edward VIII, the King of England who abdicated because of Wallace Simpson. And she has a huge role to play in Morris's life in unlocking this. And then he talks about Kevin. Kevin is his son, and so the fourth toast is to Kevin, and it's saying, "Son, you are just an amazing guy. You are this journalist, this successful journalist in the States. I'm dyslexic. Where did you come from?" And this is this boulder that's been between us all of our life that I never kind of felt I was worthy enough of such an amazing son as you. And then finally we meet Sadie, and Sadie is his beloved wife,
oh,
who had died 2 years to the very day that Mark sits to this bar. And he has so many regrets about Sadie and the things he never did for her, all the promises he made, like we all do, all those promises we make and we never follow through. So this is the story of a man who is coming to terms with those regrets at 84 years of age. So,
as I'm reading it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, as she's writing this, like I'm tearing up talking about it. I was tearing up reading it. Okay, I teared up again today when I was like I was like, how did she write this story without just like breaking down all the time?
wet pages, yeah. um, yeah, I mean, there were moments of sadness, I think.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I did with this book, my own father at the time that I was writing this book was 84. So I suppose I was listening to a lot of what he was saying about his own vulnerability. So yes, that kind of dug deep into me. And yeah, there was actually then a moment when I thought, when I was trying to find an agent, like every writer does, they go on that long, long road to trying to find an agent, and it's a really tough road of rejection, basically. And I remember one day thinking, do you know what? Morris Hanigan is never going to see the light of day, and that's when I shed a tear. When I thought, I
Oh,
felt like I was losing a friend. I honestly
yes.
felt like I was losing a friend, that he would never, people would not get to know him, and I would never get to talk about him again. And he would just be put in a drawer,
Oh,
never to come out again. And that made me incredibly sad, because I just believe Morris is such a great guy. Now
oh,
he's not the nicest all of the time,
right,
okay,
right.
and he can be not so nice to people, and he's very clear that family are his priority, and everybody outside of family, he doesn't really care how he treats them. So that's kind of hard. You're kind of like, oh, Morris, I'm not so sure that's the way to be. But at the end of the day, he is this deeply human, flawed man that I just want people to fall in love with. And I think, luckily, people, like over here in Ireland, it's been such a success. It was 5 weeks at the number one bestseller when it came out. It debuted over here on the 24th of January. And in my first week, it hit number one, and it stayed there for
Oh,
5 weeks. So it's been just fantastic. It's still sitting there in the bestseller list in Ireland. I can't quite believe it. I check it every Saturday, and there I am. I don't know what number I am
oh.
now. I'm down. Of course, I'm down. One wouldn't expect to be number one all of the time, but I'm still there. And so I just feel, yes, the world is loving Morris Hanigan, and I'm getting great emails from people all over the world. A man from the States emailed me the other day to say, I picked this book up on a whim in
Mm.
my local store. He said, I don't know what drew me to it, but I did. And he said, I love this book. I love this man. I love all of the other characters, but I particularly love Morris Hanigan. So I am just thinking,
Oh,
yes, I did it. I achieved what I set out to do.
yeah, and that's what, I'm so inspired by you because, here we are, at this age, we've raised our children, and we still have so much time left, and we're like, what are we going
Yeah,
to do? What are we
yeah.
going to do? You
Oh,
know?
well, listen, life is about learning. It's about lifelong learning. I've changed careers 4 or 5 times. I started to write when I was 44. This wasn't something that I was sitting with all of my life going, I just have to write. And I had all of these novels in drawers that I just couldn't sell. I wasn't doing that. It just, a friend of mine, when I was 44, I kind of hit a crossroads in my career. I was working as financial manager within the charity sector.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just found after that the money wasn't doing it for me anymore, even though the money is important because I work in charities, it was really, really important. But still, I felt a part of me was missing. And he said to me, Anne, he said, you've always read great books. You know what great writing is. Go off and do it. And literally on the 1st of September 2013, that is what I did. I went off and I started to write. And so when all is said is the result of a lot of, one novel that I was the very first thing I wrote, and I swore that would never come out of the drawer. Nobody was ever going to read that. But I knew by writing 70,000 words that I actually had stamina for this
Oh,
thing, for this. And I loved it. I felt like this hole had closed over in myself the day I started to write. And so between the jigs and the reels, as we say here in Ireland, I ended up going to do a master's in creative writing in UCD in Dublin, it's University College Dublin.
uh-huh.
And I brought a draft of this novel in with me to that course, and I workshopped the hell out of this novel in that course. So there was 12 of the students there that I'm sure are sick to the eye teeth of Morris Hanigan, and all he got up to in his bloody 5 toasts. Um, and so, yeah. So for me, back to the original, life is about learning.
Right.
Life is all about learning. And, I hope that I'll keep writing, and I hope that there'll be more novels in me. Working on my second novel at the minute, but I'm not afraid that if something else springs to mind and I think, ooh, maybe I'd like to be, I don't know, an engineer, although I doubt it. But you know what I'm saying, that you know that it's okay to keep learning and to keep changing and to keep doing different things. Now, I am very lucky, I have to say. I've been able to switch careers because I've had a wonderful supportive partner around that, who's been able to pay the mortgage. And there have been times when he's gone off to do things, and I've paid the mortgage with my job. So it's, I'm lucky. I get that. Not everybody can do it, but still, it's all about keeping your mind active, keeping looking at what else is out there that's interesting that I might love.
Yeah. That's why when I read your story, I was just like, I'm so inspired. And this book has done so well. And I saw it
Hmm.
like a little bit ago, and you were out on book tour or something.
Yeah,
And,
you came
and then you
around.
came back around. And I was like, yes, I get to talk to her. And I was so excited to do that because I think this book does touch us like, oh, and beyond, and I know you've heard the emails and you've been on book tour and heard people tell you, but how does that feel to be able to have connected, that a seemingly simple idea has just connected with so many people.
It feels wonderful. It feels wonderful, and I am learning more about my book from people.
Yeah.
From those I go out when I am on, doing book signings or book readings, and people will say, "Do you know I felt this about your book?" And I'm like, "Oh, wow, yeah, okay, I see that," but I might not necessarily have had that in mind. So I'm learning from people about the book. So it is wonderful that I've inspired all of that. I've inspired all of these emotions in people, and really, I do get the most powerful emails from people saying, this book has helped me through a difficult time. One very recent email, somebody said, I was having a really difficult time with my family, but this book has helped me kind of sit back and think about things.
Gosh.
And I'm like, oh my Lord.
Yeah. And
It's not just, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And certainly, that was never my intention, but what a brilliant byproduct. I mean, I couldn't have asked for nicer words than that this book has somehow helped somebody or touched somebody. But with every book, the mark of its success is not necessarily its sales, it's how it touched the reader. And so to have so many people coming back to me and saying things like that is just, well, I have done it. I have done exactly what every writer wants to do, and that is to really touch a reader's heart.
Yes. And I bet you don't have to search for a publisher anymore for your next book.
No. Well, I'm lucky. I'm in a 2-book contract, so
awesome.
So they're knocking on the door already, saying, "So where's the next one? Where's
That's
the
right. That's right. As soon as you get this one out, they're like, "Okay, let's go. Let's get the
yeah,
next one out."
yeah. So look, I am lucky, but I'm working hard at that second novel, which is always difficult. And that that phrase, that worn out phrase of the difficult second album, is absolutely true to life. It is difficult. But I'm there. I'm stuck in. I'm knee deep at the minute in that second book.
Well, I can't wait to read it. Hold up the book, and we're going to talk about the cover just for a minute before I let you go, because I love this cover.
Isn't it lovely?
It really is, because the colors pop. And when you look at it, especially as I'm reading it, and I keep going back, I always go back and look at the cover. And I just love that picture of him, like, sitting there, and you can see that he's alone. And you can see, and I was like, wow, I mean, what an amazing cover.
No, it's fantastic. And the publisher of this is St. Martin's Press, but Thomas Dunn imprint in St. Martin's Press. And I have to say, those guys were amazing. They knew exactly what they were talking about with this cover. And initially when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. And they said, no, you've no idea how good this is. And they are. I have come to love this cover so much. I see it and I just think they were so right. Everything about it is really good. And also, can I tell you, it is St. Martin's Press I have to thank for the title of this book, because I was struggling with, I'm the worst person for trying to get a title to anything. And so the publisher in the UK, me and the publisher in the States, we were all trying to think about, a good title, because the one I had was just far too wordy. And it was the guys in the States who one day emailed me and said, we just had a meeting and we like When All Is Said. And I was like, you have got it. You've totally got it. So they not only gave me this fantastic cover, they gave me the fantastic title. So I have a lot to be grateful to the people of the United States.
Well, are you coming over here at all? Or were you here?
There's no there are no plans as yet. But you never know. And the paperback, I think, is coming out it's not until 2020. I don't know at this point. We'll have to see. But as interest racks up,
Yes.
you never know. We may well get over there. But I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. I'm off to France shortly, and I'll be going to Switzerland later on in the year. So yes, I'm getting very good at packing my case and heading off. So.
Well, it was so lovely to speak with you. I am going to put the link, the IndieBound link, underneath here for people to support their local bookstore.
Absolutely, because the independents are just being fantastic. Yes. Love them.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I love how I go to so many to meet authors.
Yes.
Because they really support the authors, and that's what I love too, So without them, but anyway, Amazon, if you want it today on your Kindle, I'm going to put your website and all your social links, and it was so nice to meet you. And
thank you so much for asking me. I am honored to have been asked. It's been great.
I can't wait till your next book. You know where to find me. I will read it. I'll read it early. Okay.
Excellent, Michelle. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye-bye.